Hello and welcome back to Thames FC. It's me, Dr. FM, and you join me today not actually that long after we last met. There's a reason for today's episode, and as I say, there's only been 4 matches since the Fulham and Norwich games of last episode, so hopefully you don't mind, but we're here again. And there's 2 reasons for that. One, that Wolves and Newcastle, our games today, are massive games in the context of the Championship season. If I bring up the league table, you can see Newcastle in 4th position, Wolves in 8th, but between us, the points are very, very close indeed. There's 4 points separating Newcastle and Wolves, and we're slap bang in the middle on 56. And not only that, it's our first game at an expanded Riverbank. That's right, we're going to see what it looks like. I say first game, I've seen it against Sunderland, and well, it's a treat. Sheffield Wednesday and Sheffield United were games in between the 2 Sheffield teams. 4 points in those 2 games, not too bad. An away draw at Sheffield Wednesday, a little bit disappointing, but then I say a 2-1 win. Altenal on the 78th and 84th minute getting the goals, and then we play Sunderland in the 4th round. It was 1-1 in the first game, which meant a replay, and then we lost 5-3. Ben-Hur and Ronaldo getting 3 goals between them, but it wasn't enough against the Sunderland team, who I must say, actually, I'll give them some major props. I mean, I let Jack the Jobber know in advance. I was like, look how well your boys are doing. Oh well, they're 9th now, but they were up in 4th. So today, Wolves and Newcastle. Let's get into the team for this Wolves match. So team-wise, we're a little tired because we've had these replays going on recently. It means we've had to change things around a touch, and our team then today is going to look a little bit like this. Now, with Colin Harvey injured, it allows us to bring Johnson back in to the fold, who's been out for a little while. Because he's a lone player, we can only have 5, and I've had to bring Mark Green as the goalkeeper. It's a bit of a mess. We weren't able to play one of the lone players every single time we went into a game. Not even that, we couldn't have them in the squad. So a bit of a situation at hand. But the team for today then, Green will be in goal, Morris, Holmes, Edmund and Vokins at the back. We've got Street, Casper and Conlon as well in the midfield, with Johnson in behind, Walter Wink and Ben-Hur, who hopefully these 2, they need to, so far, goal scoring wise, they're doing okay, but we need a little bit more. So Wolves at the Riverbank, let's take a look at it then. This is a big moment for us all, viewers, and I don't have a player trained, flipping heck. Kevon Lewis and Lazaro are the 2 players we can actually put on there that allow us to have an option. Sam Reed is now back in the team. I didn't even spot it. But Green's done pretty well since he's come in, so I'm going to keep him in there for now. We've still got him on loan. I guess if someone's going to have to sit out, it's probably going to be... Oh, it's tough. I guess Keown Harris, who's actually now going... He's moving to Scotland at the end of the season. Yeah, it's true. Okay, a 4-4-2 situation for Wolves. They've got this chap up top, Lewis Green, who looks fast, dangerous, a decent little player, and next to him, Johnny Walker, on loan from Man City. That is ridiculous. Oh my dearie me. So only 7 goals in 23. I bet he gets a hat-trick today. Right, the games begin, but hang on a moment. Hold the phone. There it is. Can you spot the differences? It's not massive. The sides are pretty much the same. We've got a screen now in that bottom corner, but it's pretty much the same. The view which you can tell is that this is now sort of 2-tiered almost, and there's boxes now, which is quite nice. I mean, it looks nice, doesn't it? It's got a little bit more character to it, but there's not a great change. If I reverse the image, you can see that's the other side, and I think that is pretty much as it was. And then that's one end, and I think the other one is pretty much identical, although I can't show you it because of where the ball is. Of course, all goals will be in 3D, but we're going back to 2D for the actual match, as Ben-Hur wins a corner very early on. It's out to the edge, Street's there. If you can get a nice early goal, I mean, it's never likely, is it, from a corner, but it's worth a go. And you can see then we are in 5th position there, sort of camped in the playoffs. It's whether we can hold that position to the end of the season. We're not really that deep towards the back end of the season quite yet. There's still quite a lot of games to go as the ball's bobbling around there, and eventually Wolves do get it clear. And teams like Wolves and Newcastle are on, like, budget-wise, are far superior to us. It's whether our boys could put in a shift today and upset the apple cart, as they've done throughout the series. To be honest, haven't they? It's Ben-Hur now on the ball, races towards the byline. A little bit of magic, finds his mate. Oh, Ben-Hur! That was superb. Renato applies the finish. But the movement from Ben-Hur, 3 dimensions, please. You can see there, Ben-Hur picks it up and just sort of drifts. Look how much work he's got to do. He's the Brazilian Messi, which I think maybe it shouldn't be said. But anyway, Renato heads in, and there we are, 1-0, 6 minutes are gone. Lovely stuff from Ben-Hur. Excellent. All right, we're back again. Another highlight, and it's Thames in control. Renato on it, goes back to Street, and you can see we're quite congested in the centre there. We play quite a narrow formation, but we do manage to keep the ball, knock it round superbly well. And now Vokins on that side finds Ben-Hur at the front post, forced to Conlon. Oh, should have been 2. Okay, we're getting towards the 20-minute mark, and it's Wolves now who come forward with it. Green, my dearie me. Flipping heck. Well, I raved about Ben-Hur and how good what he did was, but that was pretty outrageous from Lewis Green. I mean, we'll stick with the sort of the highlight as it develops here. Laws feeds it back into him, and then all of a sudden turns there on it and goes past that defender like he's not even there, and then applies a stunning finish. My word. Smashes it past the goalkeeper. 1-1. Thames have got it to do today. Come on, boys. Could say Casper's been pretty anonymous in the middle, could you? But almost invisible, you know? Because he's... Don't, Ben. If you go back and watch the Salford story, I probably did these jokes 2 years ago. Walter Wink on it, though. Finds Casper in the centre. Or we could have ghosted putt. Leave it. Johnson back to Street now. And we got to Vokins on that side, who's got forward nicely towards Ben Hur. Cleared, though. Street into Johnson, who gets tackled on the edge of the box. And it was held up a little bit. We had a chance, but it didn't come to anything. And now we're sucked in. And Green there to prod. It's so easy. I mean, how we get... Oh, dearie me. They're playing a 4-4-2. They're not really getting forward in wide areas, but it's just that 2-on-2. Their two strikers are significantly better than our two centre-backs, and with the pace and with the attacking ability, like there's, I mean, that was quite funny anyway. Popped in, Wolves have turned it round, and this puts Wolves in our place, essentially, and we drop out of the playoffs, and then with Newcastle to come, it's a tough episode today, but you got these are the games that define the team. How good are we? It's all well and good beating up on like the bottom 6 or 7, but you've got to do much better against these big boys. Last episode we were like 50-50, so today can we do it? Show me something else in the second half and get out there and do it, boys. Come on. I mean, tactically it's quite interesting. We are a little narrow perhaps, and I could maybe drop them. I just don't expect anyone to score from a corner. It's very frustrating. I'm thinking we drop Casper into this hole. He doesn't absolutely love it, but it might give a bit more protection to the back two. I mean, at this stage, we probably should. I mean, Altidal can come on as well. Renato is having... Renato's always the one I'll take off, because I think I've got to keep Ben Hur out there, because he's just got moments of magic. Renato might have scored the goal, but come on. Can Altidal make the difference? That's the question. It's great to bring him on. Pat Street scored. There was a pause there. You might be thinking, why was there a pause? The pause was because I completely forgot the Tyler Davis situation until right now. We'll talk about it at half-time. And by half-time, I mean in between the two games, as that's one of the best goals we've scored. And frankly, viewers, I've ruined that. Well, you can see he's not on the bench, so that might give you a clue. Well, the game seemingly has ticked away here, as it doesn't look as if there's going to be a late comeback for Thames. 3-2 Wolves. Great goal from Pat Street, and I thought we might be pushing on to get something else from it. I mean, again, pretty dominant game. 4 shots on target for them, 3 goals. Clinical nature. That's what we don't have at the moment. It's where Tom George last year was very effective. All right, Newcastle to come, but let's talk about Tyler Davis. I'm an idiot. Oh, he plays for Newcastle. Brilliant. Okay then, so Tyler Davis, as I've just said there, plays for Newcastle, which suggests, viewers, we've sold him. His value has shot up since moving from us, but he's on a bigger contract now, which kind of makes sense. He's not scored for them yet, so game coming up next against Thames. Fantastic news. He was in his final year of the contract. It was 1.7 million, wasn't it? It was something around that figure, so I'm not too disappointed with it. In terms of the balance, it keeps us a little bit fresher, and I'm bearing that in mind as we go forward into next season. If we've got a negative balance, I'm never going to get a lot of transfer budget. I think the max we've ever had, you can see there, 1.4. I think that is probably the max we've ever had. So with sponsorships and things like that, hopefully we can be around that 3 million mark, and maybe next season push on. Of course, if we're to get promoted, for example, then that will all change. But I've got to speak as a team that I think will probably be in the Championship next year. I still don't think we're quite there. We're getting closer. We're just not quite there yet. The poll, by the way, was 88% in favour of sell, so you'll all be quite happy with that. You probably thought I was going to reinvest the money, but I'm holding on until the summer. I should say, in my Discord channel, which is discord.gg/Dr. Benji, feel free to join, I did ask people about what we should do in terms of like signing players, and a lot of people said, try and get by this year with your youth. We have a Thames spoiler chat where we sort of talk about stuff, and a lot of people said, just try and get through this next season and then see where you are at the end of the year, and that was sort of the advice I'm taking this season. But we did break the record attendance, 6,953. So that's nice. That's probably quite good for the old coffers as well. All right, 7 days to the Newcastle game. I'll see you in a moment. Or you'll see me in. I mean, there we go, look. Just like that. Welcome back then. This is going to be the team for today's game, and we still can't put a player on the bench. I would put Lazaro there ordinarily. Actually, no, Lazaro could go there. Sam Reid, you're going to have to step out. This is awful. This is awful. At the same time, I don't really have a choice. So, Green in goal, Maurice Holmes, Edmund Vokins, Street, Casper Johnson, Conlon to play in behind Renato Welterwink and Ben Hur. They scored 1 goal last time. I'm going to go attacking from this game. We're going to take it to Newcastle, even though we're away from home. Question is, will Tyler Davis be playing, and how many goals will he score? He's on the bench. Number 23. He's waiting in the wings. They're playing 4-4-2 again. A formation ordinarily we do quite well against. It didn't happen against Wolves, though. Okay, then Newcastle second in the table. They are pushing for the automatic spots, never mind the playoffs, whereas we are trying to fight back, wrestle back into the playoff contention. And if we get a win today, then it's certainly happening. A defeat today means we'll have lost both games, and all of a sudden we're looking a little bit nervy as Ben Hurt misses a huge chance 25 seconds in. I've said this quite a few times, I still back us against the lesser teams. It's like, obviously, if you're going to win the playoffs, Benny boy, you've kind of got to be good against these teams. As Ben Hurt has... Did he just go for that? He's a maverick, is Ben Hurt. He's an absolute maverick. All right, Newcastle bring it forward here, and, we wrestled him down to the ground there. About 3 of us went for him. Now Ben Hur picks it up again, finds Renato out on that side, and he finds a run of Conlon, who's finds his way through, and Parish with a good save. But so far, we've gone attacking in these early stages, and we look very good. Ball's out from the corner, finds Conlon on the edge of the box. Can we get it into the middle again? Johnson and him wasting time, frankly. And now Shackleton, which is a great name, races forward with it, ball into the middle. We get it clear, sort of. Langley's there. Green with a great save, and that is very unfortunate. That came from our corner as well. Really? Ugh. Shackleton on that side, absolutely rapid. Does K. Morris like nobody's business. 2 players are sucked in. The header from Vokins not good enough. And then Langley smashes it against Green. He made a decent save to begin with. And then the rebound is just a simple tap in. St James is not full for the arrival of Thames, which is a bit harsh. All right, let's see if we can keep the pressure on those. The early stages, we were pretty good. Let's see if we can keep it going as we go out to Morris, who in an attacking sense isn't too bad as he finds Casper in the centre. Street, Conlon, Ben Hur, Renato combine. And back out to Morris. Ball in. Great move from us. Johnson picks it up on the edge, and again, it just breaks down at the point in which we really need to be getting the goal from it. We're not clinical enough in those situations as they go forward, and well, they've hit the post. You've got to think at some point we're going to create a real, proper goal-scoring chance to score from. The best so far was probably that early Ben Hur opportunity. Newcastle to the byline, to the back post. It's too long. It's too long, he said, thinking that was the highlight over. And then I watched them work it on the edge, and I thought, don't do this. 8 minutes in. 2-0 to Newcastle. Away from home, I mean, we're not even 10 minutes in yet. There's another highlight. We've lost out in the middle. All 4 of our midfielders have been quite out of position as well as they work it out to that side. Again, the left-back's pulled out a little bit, but Edmund does well to cover. Oh no, this could be going from bad to worse as we do deal with it. And now it's a case of can we move it forward. We do launch it, not fantastically, although there could be a running behind there. Oh, Ben Hur, he's made the darting run. Great ball towards him. Can he get back in it? Okay, no, not this time. We're gonna go to standard. We're gonna get off attacking because basically we've conceded 2. Ben, that's why, isn't it? This was our corner again. Great challenge. Bailey Shackleton. I just quite like that name. All right, Thames, try and find something. Renato, Ben Hur. That's 3 he's had now. Now, I guess the only saving grace from this is that Wolves are on 57, Leeds are on 56, Barnsley on 56, and we'll be on 56. And some of the teams around me, Leeds, etc., Cardiff are out there as well. The goal difference isn't massive, so that's not too bad. As we get to half-time, I'm clutching at all the straws. We've scored way less goals this year as well, 47. You think Ipswich scored 75. I've tried to make us defensively a little more solid, and it seems to have worked in part. The issue being now that we're not scoring enough, and in games like this, there's been certain games this year that we've lost sort of 1-0, 2-1, that previously we might have outscored them. It's a balancing act with Thames at the moment. I'm not really sure. It all boils down to the fact that our defence isn't really good enough. Hence that when teams get opportunities, they're not getting that many, but they are then scoring most of them. And we have to remember too, this is Ben Hur's and Renato's first full season as he's forward again. Ben! But this is their first full year. They need to adapt a little bit. I'm making excuses, viewers. That's what I'm doing. I'm making excuses. It breaks to Johnson here. Again, can we get a guy in behind? I mean, what we might have to do is for the rest of the season is play Altidal and just hope he gets sort of 50. Let's bring him on now, shall we? All right, attacking target man. If he scores 3 here, then there's a reason we love him. Ben Hur is on a 5.8. Definitely should have taken him off instead. Ball's played in, and it's cleared again, but it's not very convincing. And if I was to put money on the next goal scorer, they wouldn't be wearing blue and white, which would be typical, wouldn't it? Don't do sports betting. I don't personally. It's 2-1. Altidal scored. Even when it's in my favour, I look like a knob. Right, this is just after we've scored the first one. Ben Hur's now had 5 good chances. If only we had another striker. that we could bring on, and I didn't sell them, and everyone said it'll be fine because you won't need another one. The problem is easy on the bench for them. Corner for Newcastle, played to the edge. Langley shot, hits the post and cleared. There's still time for us to do something here. Newcastle forward again, right side to the byline, swung in. Shackleton's under it and scores. I thought he was their winger. He's not. He's their striker. He's their disgusting striker. So 3-1. We're going to go back to attacking. Altidal's out there. He loves it. I mean, Sam Reed's come back from injury. He's loving this. We need to stick it to them a bit more. We need to get at them. We're not really doing that. Get stuck. It hurt them a little bit. Here's Newcastle, though, that could continue with the possession as they've hit the post. I mean, that is taking the piss now, isn't it, game? 4-1. I mean, yes, they're better than us. If we come back now, 20 minutes to go, then, well, we'll just leave that, shall we? Leave that thought there. All around me are familiar faces, worn out places, worn out faces. I don't care anymore. This is almost cool to put the fox suit on. Admittedly, not a bottle job, but an embarrassment. I mean, I'd just do it for a disguise at this stage, viewers. Can you tell it's me still, even though I've done that to my hair? Can you tell? 10 minutes to go. 4 goals required. And there's the first. Ugh. I need wide players, viewers. That's the situation. I need wingers so I can actually properly change games. I don't have any wingers. Against better sides, I need fast people down the sides to run in behind teams so we can play it into those spaces. And I don't have that against teams like Newcastle. They're down to 10 though. They're having a rest is what they're doing, aren't they? Shouldn't have sold Davis. They didn't even bring him on. That's insulting. And there we are. Newcastle 5, Thames 1. Sorry. That might be one of our heaviest defeats as Thames manager. I actually don't know what. Let's find out. Let's see where that ranks. Oh, well, it's our biggest this season. So that's good. We lost 7-3 to South Shields once. That was pretty embarrassing. There's actually been quite a few 5-1s in there. 6-2, that wasn't good. West Ham smashed us or 2 seasons ago too. A couple of 4-0s, just thumpings. Well, that leaves us in 7th position. A few points. I've got goal difference away from 6th position. So it's not over yet. The fight for the playoffs is by no means over. When shall we come back? Leeds and Cardiff, and they're the teams near us. So when do we play these boys? Is it a while away? Oh, we play Leeds. I think that potentially then might be the next time we meet. Unless you'd like to see us move a little quicker, then we'll do Leeds and maybe Middlesbrough as well. And then the final 2 at the end of the season to see where it all lies. But there we are then. That brings us to the end of today's episode. It's been interesting. I missed the transfer business. We missed a lot of chances. Ben Hur missed his boss, and Altidal came on and scored a goal because we love him. I'll see you again soon, viewers. If you enjoyed the video, do leave a like. Let's go for 1,000, and I'll see you again tomorrow for more. Goodbye. Dear, oh dear, oh dear.